this movie really, I think, exhibits what leftist, commie, Marxist, socialist Hollywood continues to miss while they're so busy trying to push LGBTQ, virtue signaling, gender politics, all the grooming crap and all this stuff on kids because they don't know where it is. Middle America is what's making this work.
Renegade Online.
Now, if we continue on here, there's other news that we need to address. And here it is. Without a Minecraft movie, we'd have Angel Studios animated Charles Dickens' Jesus movie, The King of Kings, leading with 19 million.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be over 20 million by the time we get the
Yes.
actual figures or closer to it tomorrow or Tuesday morning once we get them. Here's the deal. The cast of this movie is amazing.
Yeah.
Number one. And number two, Angel Studios has shown that they have a panache for being able to drive audiences at a marketing level that is far more cost efficient than any other studio in Hollywood. Their word of mouth is
amazing.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Yep.
Sound of Freedom.
Well, they have
Right.
a network, right? Like of Christian outlets that
Yeah.
help with this, and that gets it first of all to the direct audience it's feeding into. And this is what I was talking with Culture on Monday. I said this movie is going to eat Snow White's lunch,
Yep.
and it did even better than I predicted.
Yeah, I mean, you think about a Disney movie like Snow White, Tom, that you just mentioned, that had a $300 million roughly final production cost after netting out film tax credits, maybe 320. We don't know yet. We may not know the full extent of the expenditure until 6 to 12 months from now, or possibly longer, I think, as more returns pile in. But I mean, King of Kings, you're talking about a production that was, I think, maybe 7 to 10 million for this. If that, and probably most of that money was spent on the voice actor talent they had in here, because that was a powerhouse of talent. But here's the thing, is that this is going to have, Angel Studios does not have they do not have a proprietary streaming service. So this movie's going to get licensed out. It's going to get a big fat check. And considering how well it's doing, and the fact that Angel doesn't have its own proprietary studio or streaming service.
I'm going to stop you. They
Go
do have their own streaming service. I'm subscribed to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
do they? Okay.
They
do.
have the Angel app. And it's one of the reasons the box office is as high as it is because once you're at that higher level, you're basically subsidizing several of your tickets. I got 2 free tickets. I didn't go see it because I wanted to go. My kids wanted to see the Minecraft movie. They would have hated this movie if I took them to see this instead, which I don't really want to do that with the Jesus stuff. But if you're a member of the Angel Guild, you get 2 free tickets to every production. They also run some promotions. They're super savvy in the way they handle this stuff.
Do they do third-party licensing in addition to their own proprietary service?
That's my question, because I think that Sound of Freedom ended up on other streamers first.
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking that, Jonas. That's why. Okay, so I did not know that. I'm glad you corrected me and informed me on that one because I was not aware. But I imagine long-term, or if they have a successful enough film, you can put it on your own service. But if you're savvy about this kind of thing, then if you wind up with $100 million total box office for a movie like this or more, why not let Netflix cut you a check for 20 to 25 million?
Yep.
Because Netflix probably would. They've got a proven concept right there that people want.
And look, I mean, this has bigger than that. I mean, they actually offer screeners to YouTubers and people that are willing to give them legitimate reviews. And there's something else that I don't know if it's included in here or not, but do you know that that basically if you bought an adult ticket, the kids came for free?
1 for 1, wasn't it? One adult ticket.
That was on Thursday, yeah.
Yeah.
To me, that was amazing. I'm like, so they're giving the film away. They're literally giving the film away. And look, I mean, I love that concept. Back when Sound of Freedom was going, they had a gig where you shot with your phone the little QR code on the screen, and you could
But the kid thing's even smarter, Culture, right? Because what you're doing is possibly guaranteeing a home video sale down the road.
Oh, indeed. Yeah,
exactly. And again, it's not free in the sense that, I mean, what Angel Studios has to do is effectively make up, what they're giving away, because you're walking into AMC or Marcus or Regal or somebody else, right? They're not giving away those tickets for free. But if you book it through Angel, Angel's basically eating the cost of it. So if they're receiving 50% back from the box office, they're still paying for it, but they're trying to drive people into the theater because, and look, this is a smart business model for them, right? This doesn't work for Disney. This doesn't work for Warner Brothers or Universal, but it works for Angel because they've got a small distribution scale. They've got a very well-controlled budget, capital X, CapEx on this movie, $7-10 million. Very little exposure. 7 to 10 million, granted, for a studio like Angel, is a big exposure. But in the grand scheme of things, it's a small financial exposure. They don't have $50 to $100 million to go out and do a full court press like Disney, Warner Brothers, Universal, Sony, Paramount, blah, 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 blah. So they have to do it different. But I think that given the size of their studio, given the scale of content they produce compared to their competitors in Hollywood, I think their business model is really, really smart because they know their threshold for turning a profit, for staying out of the red, is fairly low. So why not take some of those marketing dollars and reinvest them into doing their own thing where, hey, buy an adult ticket, we'll give you a child ticket for free. We will reimburse the theater. Let the box office do what it does, because just like horror movies, Tom knows where I'm going with this, Five Nights at Freddy's and some of these other ones that are 10, 15, $20 million cost, they're making their nut on a streaming contract before the first movie ticket is sold anyway.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I've just confirmed. Sorry for the quietness here, but you're totally right. Amazon Prime has Sound of Freedom right now.
That's what it was.
No reason that they shouldn't do that as well. So their big stuff, they still put on their outside streamers. My kids actually, and I'm not trying to be a fanboy here or anything, but there's a series called The Tuttle Twins that's on there that the guy who writes it is super based libertarian economics. Like my kids were asking for gold for Christmas because they watched this show. There's good stuff on the Angel app. There's also, I'm sure there's some cringy faith films on there as well, but there's actually some good films on there too. So I recommend the Angel app if you're trying to stay away from some of the weird stuff that's out there. It's not all kids stuff. Sound of Freedom, not appropriate for kids, but also much cleaner than you would imagine that film to be, considering the subject matter.
Yeah, and if you look here to what you're saying, yeah, here's the Angel app that you can download through your Fire TV and your Prime. So they've got some connection there. So I don't know if it's available directly on Prime or if it's an app through Prime, but they've obviously, look, they've been successful. I think they know what they're doing. And again, unlike some of their major, much bigger competitors out there, their threshold is far more easy to overcome. Right.
And they're great marketers. So
they are. They really seem to know what they're doing. DreamWorks Animation's Prince of Egypt, overpowering that from 27 years ago. Although obviously that's a very poor metric from 27 years ago when you do inflation adjustments, but still, nonetheless, a good opening for something like this. And again, 27 years ago, even though if we inflation adjusted that, and it probably nearly doubled it to almost 28 million.
I bet you that Prince of Egypt also had like twice or three times as many screens that it opened on as well.
You're right, Tom, because who was the studio that made it?
DreamWorks, because they were trying to do this before Shrek. Like this was their
exactly
little niche they were trying to do.
This was a Steven Spielberg studio, right?
Katzenberg and Geffen,
Yeah, this was a major studio with major Hollywood backers. So it's a completely different animal there. Screen Engine ComScore post-track positive 83%, definite recommend. 83% definite recommend on a movie is off the scale high.
One of the things that I love about this paragraph is it tells you how few films get an A+, and that this film got it. I was overcome. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but that just struck me when I was reading through the article today. So.
This movie, no, I think you're right. Look, this movie really, I think, exhibits what leftist, commie, Marxist, socialist Hollywood continues to miss. While they're so busy trying to push LGBTQ, virtue signaling, gender politics, all the grooming crap and all this stuff on kids because they don't know where it is. Middle America is what's making this work. Middle country success with Regal, Pinnacle, and Knoxville. Now the movie's top grossing location in Knoxville, Tennessee at the Regal Pinnacle with 28,000 plus.
That's impressive.
That's insane. That's crazy.
And this is also, it's not even Easter weekend yet.
Exactly. This thing still has a long, long way to go.
Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.